Hey everybody, this is Mr. Bishop, and so today I'm going to show you how you can make your own website on Google Sites. So if you need to watch any part of this over again, just go back and forth on the little dial at the bottom, and you'll be able to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do in my address bar is type in sites.google.com. Press enter, and that's going to take me here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this blank button. That's going to create a brand new website. Okay. So as soon as it launches, you're going to see a few things here. And the main thing that I want you to do first, before anything else, is title your site. So I'm going to title mine Mr. Bishop's website. So you might do your first and last name and then your website. Roger Todd's website, if that's your name. And then the same thing here. So I'll just type the same thing again, Mr. Bishop's website. And if you want to have a little more fun with that and, say Mr. Bishop's world or something like that, or the year with Mr. Bishop or whatever you want to call yours, that's totally fine with me. Just I wouldn't make it super random, like alien picture frame glasses, like that doesn't make any sense. So okay, so for me, I'm just going to do Mr. Bishop's website because I'm fine. Okay, all right. So over to the side here, and I'm going to take me off. Over to the side, what you're going to see is these different options and features down here. So there's a lot of different features, but I'm going to have you pay attention just to a few of them. So the first thing that I would probably have you do is put in a text box and just give a brief description of what your website will be about. So I'm going to write, hello, everyone. Welcome to my website. When you come here, you'll be able to see all of the things that I'm working on in class and all my projects. Hope you have fun. Something like that. So fairly brief. Okay. So so now I have kind of this is what people are going to see when they first come to my website. So what I want to do now, though, before I get into how to make more pages, is I want to show you the themes. So there's not a ton of different themes, it's just a few, but there are a few different themes with a few different color styles. So if you go with these themes, it's going to kind of auto-generate some of the stuff on here, and you can still switch up some of the backgrounds and what you're seeing. I kind of like this one. I think this is kind of nice. So you can kind of switch it up however you want to, change the color, change the font style. For now, I'm good with what I have. Okay. So as I wrote on the instructions to everybody for our assignment, there are a few pages that I want you to add in. So if you need to add in a new page, you're going to click Pages. Okay. So I'm going to make a new page here, and I'm going to call this one Reading. And I'm going to click Done. Okay. Now, right here, as I see reading, this is going to be a new page. I want to make this specific to reading. So I'm going to go to Change Image and then select Image. And then I'm going to go to Search here, and I'm just going to type in Reading. Okay. And then I will have a wealth of different reading images that I can use for mine. I'm going to try to find one that's not vertical like this because that's not going to show up well on this horizontal frame here. I'm going to choose one that's horizontal, so I kind of like this. Click that, select it, and then you can see now I have that as my background, which is awesome. So again, what I would have you do now is I would go to Insert and Text Box, and then what I'm going to write here is something like this, something brief about what you might see on this page. On the reading page, you will learn about the different books that I'm reading in class. I'll also show you some of the assignments that I work on for reading, and I will be recommending books that you might want to read every week as well. So you might notice here I made this italicized, it's called, meaning that I basically highlighted it and I used the italics here. You could also bolden it. There's a few different things you can do here, and you can just kind of check those through as you go. So that's what I'm going to do for that. So I've made that now, and I'm going to make a new page in just a minute here. But first, I want to show you some of these things. So if you're wanting to add in text box, you know how to do that. If you're wanting to put in something from your Google Drive, you can click this, and that'll open up your drive, and then you can find whatever you're wanting to add in, click on that, and it'll add it in for you. I don't personally want to add in anything yet right now. If you want to put in another image, you can do that as well, okay? You can also put in buttons, YouTube videos, maps, docs, slides. This is just stuff that you can kind of explore and get creative with. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new page. So now, for example, let's do writing. So I'm going to do writing. I click done. And then I'm going to change this image to something different. So again, I'm going to go to search and then writing and find something that I like. Scroll down a little bit. Okay. Kind of like this one here. So I'm going to select that. Put that in there. Perfect. Okay. I can put in my description in just a minute, but what I want to show you right now is in the future, what we're going to make is sub pages. And so, for example, I'm not going to want to put everything right on the writing page. Let's say that I have you write a fiction story. So I would have you make a sub page, it's called. So if you click these three dots here, do sub page, then you can type in something like, let's say you're writing a story about my trip to Hawaii. Okay. Say it's a nonfiction. It's a narrative that you've written. So I'm going to click done, and then what I can do from there is again I can change this image. So maybe if this particular story is about Hawaii, then I'm going to type in Hawaii here, and I'm going to find a picture that I really like the look of. Ooh, there's so many good ones to choose from. I love Hawaii. Let's do this one. Okay. So then what I can do is I can go back to insert. I can go to drive, and let's say that I have, so yeah, I'm not going to do those. Let's say that I have, I don't have one at the ready right now, but if I had one, all I would have to do is I would find it, I would click on it. So I'll just use this one for now, insert, and then just like that, it's going to show up. So, but right now you'll see, oh, but they can't see the whole thing. Well, that's just, we're in build mode right now. So the way that you can see it in a preview setting is if you go up here and click preview, then you'll see your website how everyone else is going to see it. So I'm going to start off at home. So you can see how my little introduction there, then reading, and then writing. If I click on the main writing page, I don't have anything there yet, but if I hover, then I click on my trip to Hawaii, then it's going to show me this Google Doc that I added in before. Okay. So now I'm gonna exit out of preview mode. One thing that you do need to know about the Google Docs, and I'll show you how to do this in a separate video, is that when you put in your Google Doc here, you have to actually change your permission in Google Docs so that everyone can see it, because otherwise only you will be able to see it when people go to your website. But we'll talk more about that later, okay? There's a layouts button here. So if you want to add in, like if you have one picture that you're wanting to add in with text, you can do that. But I don't actually want any of this. So what I can do is go up here if I make a mistake and just do undo last action. That's going to take it off. And I actually want to take this out too. So there's a few different layouts. So if you want to, experiment with those, you are more than welcome to do that. Okay. So that's the basics here. For you, what you're going to want is you're going to want all these pages. So you'll want social studies, and this is just for Mr. Bishop's class. Oh, and see, oops, I made a mistake there. So I just made a sub page under writing, but I don't want it under writing. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to delete this. Okay. So now I'm in home. So now I can do add page and it should work this time. So I'm going to put in social studies. I'm going to put in science. I'm going to put in videography. Okay. And then there's a couple optional ones that I have that you can add in. The optional ones is music and then art. So, but what I'm wanting to make sure that you're doing over the course of today and tomorrow is that you are putting in your pages, you're putting in descriptions, you're making sure you have a design, and then if you have time, you're adding in some of your Google Docs work from previous years if you're wanting to add that in there. So that's kind of mainly what we're doing. You can also move these around. So if you're wanting reading to show up first, you can click and drag. I would probably do it like this: reading, writing, social studies, uh, science, videography, and then music and art. That's how I would do it. But you're free to do it how you would like to do it. So all of a sudden there, you go to preview, you can see I have a bunch of different pages. I don't have a lot of content yet, but that's what we're going to be working on this year, is adding in that content as we go through, which is really cool. And what's great about this website is that when you share your link with your parents or your family members or friends, then they can go here too and they can see all the stuff that you're working on, which is really, really awesome. And I know a lot of my previous students have said that every once in a while they go to their old website just to kind of reminisce and remember some of the things that they were doing. So one last point that I want to make here. Before anyone else can see any of the changes that you have made, you have to click this publish button. Okay. So what's going to happen when I click this is it's going to publish my site for the first time. And so I'm going to click on, I'm going to just click here. And actually, I'm fine with Mr. Bishop's website. So I'm just going to click on publish. Okay. So now anyone that I shared the link with will see this. But anytime I add in anything more, like enjoy, I have to click publish at the end once I'm done working. Otherwise, people will not be able to see it. So now here, I'm just going to click publish again, and then I'm good to go. Okay. So that's how that works. That's the basics of it today. So have fun with this. I think that everyone will have a good time making these and putting these together. And so I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Okay. All right. Have fun. Talk soon.